All right, I'm Donnie Hunter. This is my wife, Wendy. Been married 32 years, and we have been at 24 for almost 7 years now. And I'm a lifelong resident of Cheatham County. She's a transplant.
I grew up in Bellevue, right outside of Nashville. So we grew up in church, but we came to 24 just because we saw the passion that 24 had for its community and loving on others without having to put everything before a committee and think about it and talk about it. What we saw of 24 is people actually did it, and they just loved on their community and loved on people, and that's what drew us to 24.
The need was presented, and then there was people willing to help.
When Worth It was first presented, the idea, I think that was all after Chris had his dream about what it would look like for 24 Church to minister to our community. When he shared his dream about a bus ministry, that really struck a chord with me because I was a bus kid. I grew up in Bellevue, and there was a young teenager that actually came around to our subdivision in Bellevue on every Saturday and would knock on the doors and would ask parents if they could bring their kids to church. And so the bus would come around Sunday morning and pick us up. My parents weren't in church, and it was through that bus ministry that my entire family came to Christ. My mother had suffered a nervous breakdown, and when she got out of the hospital, she told my dad, "I want to go to church." And had they not had that affiliation with Cross Timbers Church, with that church at the time, because my sister and I, rode the church bus on Sundays, they wouldn't even have had a place to even start, to know where to go to church. So that bus ministry played a vital role in how my entire family came to Christ, not just my parents, but my uncles and aunts and my grandparents. And so when Chris, mentioned, having a bus ministry, I was just excited. I was thinking, these kids need to know about Christ, and how are they going to know if, someone doesn't come to their door and knock on it?
We've talked about the Worth It campaign and what it's going to look like, and how we're going to fit in this. And honestly, I don't know yet, but I'm excited about it, and I know that whatever sacrifices that we make, they may seem big at the time. We don't know how big a result is going to come from that as God can use it.
I think bringing these children in, as these families have issues or even in crisis, they'll say, "Oh, we've got a connection with 24 Church," and I think eventually those parents will come to Christ because of it. I'm a true believer. I'm a product sitting here knowing that a bus ministry ministers to whole entire families. It's really going to minister to the families, as a whole. I know that those kids need loving on, and to be able to minister to them in any way, whatever that looks like, I'm all in.